What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sliders and Crossovers YouTube channel. Today we're going to kind of touch on everything Truck Series, and then kind of give you a little bit of an update as to where the channel's headed. So, had a meeting with the production crew last night. Everything went pretty well. Got a few little wrinkles to iron out, but from there, we got some pretty cool things in the works here to bring you guys some Upper Midwest racing content. So going forward, looking at what's been a wild week in the Truck Series. Going back a little ways here, obviously the news of GMS shutting down at the end of the year. After the weekend, that didn't really seem to change much, with Enfinger pretty much handling that race at the Milwaukee Mile. That's an interesting one with Enfinger, as he'll be one of the guys looking for a ride going into next year. So obviously a veteran. Knows how to get it done. His teammate Daniel Dye has put out a statement that he's got a full-time ride for 24 with a high-level organization. So that was a pretty quick turnaround for him, but no real news on Raja Caruth in terms of where he's headed when you look at the silly season deal. Going back to last weekend, obviously the other news at the racetrack is the penalty with Majeski. So when you look at that, NASCAR really brought the hammer down on him. So they really set a precedent with that. When you look at it, 75-point team and driver deduction, 5 playoff point deduction. So that takes him down a little bit there in the standings and bumps him back to tied for second with Corey Heim. Looking at his crew chief, Joe Shear, that's another blow to that team, I think, with where they were at. He got four races and $25,000, so pretty hefty penalty for him there. The interesting thing is him coming back will be that October 21st at Homestead. That's the second to last race of the year, so he's going to miss the biggest point of the year here with the playoffs, especially being somebody that is running for a title. And you look at it, even the race itself, NASCAR set a precedent sending Joe Shear out, and then his penalty at the track, loses that right rear, goes to the tail of the field, and then has to run that pass through as the race started. So huge implications across the board, not only in the championship standings, but within the race. And then obviously going forward with Shearer missing those 4 races. So Hocevar made a pretty interesting comment that the 98 got his superpowers taken away. But funny enough, Hocevar was the one that wins that race at Richmond, and Majeski finishes P2. Majeski did win IRP, so pretty interesting there with the comment and being the guy that beats him at Richmond. So the other news today coming out of the Truck Series is obviously Matt Benedetto coming out with a statement saying he's not returning to Rackley War for 24. So Matt's an interesting one for the silly season. They're in the playoffs for the first time since Matt's been there in his 2 years now. But coming out and saying that he has no plans officially for 24, but is talking to all 3 series. So do we see Matt back in the Cup Series with the next gen? Does that car suit him a little better than the old gen car or the Gen 6 car? That'll be an interesting one to look at. And then again, that's the silly season continues with having that truck open for 24. So that'll be pretty interesting to see what happens there with that ride and where Matty D ends up. So just kind of a little update on the Truck Series, as obviously there's been a lot of news around the Truck Series here in the last week. So just keeping you guys in the loop on that. As we go here, always like, comment, subscribe. Feel free to drop feedback below and keep this thing rolling. We'll see you on the next one.